Yes, my people. Check in, check in, check in, check in. Sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties on the original live stream, so I had to switch it over here to the stream yard. Yeah. So again, I hope everybody's having a great weekend, considering everything that's going on. Um, it's been a crazy weekend. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Um, so we're just talking originally about the state of the relief efforts in Jamaica. And yeah, I know I haven't been at the Tiki Bar. Hi Mary. Manix, blessings, bro. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah man, I started the live earlier, but it wasn't working too good on my phone, so I had to switch over to the computer, you know. Well anyway, as what I said, we are talking about the relief that's going on in Jamaica, and I'm gonna actually do this. I'm going to add the the link in the description. So anyone that wants to come up and join the conversation, please do so. I feel it's a very warranted conversation, right? Um, of what's really going on in Jamaica right now. You know what I say? Conversation, right? So turn this volume down. Yeah. So if anybody wants to come up on the live chat, I know I haven't had the opportunity to do my normal tiki bar live, but me say, see a lot of things are going on, and we talk to a lot of people recently about it's kind of the state of affairs in Jamaica right now, you know, and it's a very sad situation. Um, so Mary, I'd love to join, but I'm 4 a.m. Okay, yeah, man, Mary, no worries, no worries. This is just a pop up live. I'm here, just kind of here. It's Sunday. You know, I took some vacation leave, some much needed vacation leave, and over the past week or so, I have been interacting with a lot of my subscribers and friends on YouTube and so forth, and we have been having a discussion about kind of the state of affairs that's going on. Well, yeah, vacation meaning I had to take leave. So me no gone nowhere. Me there at my house. I just had to take some leave, take some time off with the family and stuff. Sometimes you need a little break from what's going on in the world. Plus, you know, you have to me have vacation days when I have to take. Whether I'm go up on really actually and truly go up on vacation or not, I just have leave days that I have to take. And because if I don't take them, I lose them, you know. So, but it's always important to just kind of break the trend, get away from the everyday stuff that is going on in the world. But at least that's what I say. Greg, blessings and welcome, Greg. Yeah, man. So like I was saying, I started a live earlier. It wasn't really kind of working out with the phone, but I said I would switch over to the computer, so I can see what I go on. StreamYard is a little bit easier to control, So I did put the link in the chat for anybody, and I'm gonna pin it right now. So for anybody that wants to join the chat, it's Sunday evening, football Sunday. Yes, my go Ravens. My team won anyway, so it was a good Sunday so far. But as I was sitting here, just kind of going over things and having conversations with friends and family and so forth, and I was saying, there's a lot going on in Jamaica right now, and people don't realize the extent of what is going on. So there are, um, from what I said earlier, there are people that have there's the hurricane response going on right now, and there are people that are from the government response, and then you also have the civilian response. And as you can tell, the civilian response has been a lot more overwhelming than the government response, right? Because the civilian response, most of the people are YouTubers that are actually going out there, helping out, trying to do their best to help out citizens that have been devastated by this hurricane or natural disaster. You know, some people say it's not natural, but such a thing. Blessings, Patrice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man. So I know you. If you guys, I know a lot of people don't have internet now, phone service. So I will probably won't get a lot of people checking in on this live as well. And I understand. I mean, that's what we're dealing with right now in Jamaica. Anyway, and at the end of the day, I kind of put this. Like I said, I've been talking to a lot of people in Jamaica, friends and families, other YouTubers that I keep in touch with and so forth, and it's a dire situation, you know. And as Omi said, there's a lot of people out there that have the right mindset, that want to help, that want to do the right thing. My concern is more so the optics, right? The optics of it, the safety of it, right? Um, as a person that's served in the military, security has always been a big thing for me. And as a person that served as a first responder, security is always a big thing for me. Hi, Anna. Welcome in, my sister. Welcome in. So security being one, I have learned over the years from being a security expert. Well, I wouldn't even call myself an expert because nobody's an expert in anything. But being in the security field for pretty much my whole life, I always realized that people don't worry about security and safety until it actually matters, right? And in this case, it matters. And if you guys have been kind of keeping track of what's going on, there's been a couple of situations where YouTubers that have gone out to try to help citizens during the hurricane have been attacked or been robbed and all these different things. And one of the things I tried to do at the beginning of this whole situation was I put out information on different scams that's out there, and just in general saying, hey, be safe in what you're doing, because not just the safety of yourself, but the safety of the citizens as well. Because you see what happens when people are desperate, right? And people in a desperate situation, and this is not just in Jamaica, this is anywhere in the world, when people are in a desperate situation, that their natural instinct is to survive. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna do whatever it needs to take care of themselves and their families. You know, so you have to expect that in a regular situation where people would be civil, right? It's not gonna be the same when they're in a dire situation and them need help and them need it. No, you know, that's the biggest difference. So, and I mentioned this before, all this all these things that transpire, that be careful, be safe, because if you're placed in a situation where you get injured or your team that you have get injured, and they don't that doesn't help you and it doesn't help the people that you're trying to help. You know what I'm saying? So if you get hurt, something bad happen, and you can't you end up taken out of this equation, because now you can't help the people who actually physically went out there to help in the first place. you know. So I see a lot of it that's been going on in the last couple of weeks of people going out there trying to help and being mobbed. And again, you know, it's about being smart, you know, doing some proper coordination because again, trust me, we here see the same thing. Like everybody here is like, yo, would I if I have $1 million right now, I would send it to support all the people who need the support. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna send it in a situation where the people that really need it don't get it, then it's not helping, right? You're putting people in a bad situation where, you know, if you're getting donations to support people in need, you buy the goods and services and you try to put it out to the people. Guess what happen? If the mob run up on you and take away all right, you've still not helped the people that actually need the help. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that I am most concerned about is because if the people that really need the help is so say for example, you set up a GoFundMe and you get all this money and you buy barrels and food and all these things and you send them go to Jamaica and it reach there, right? And then the person who is supposed to distribute all this doesn't have a plan to properly distribute the goods and services or the help that all these people that supporting this the situation. If it doesn't go to the people that really need it then you're just not you're really not helping. You know, you're causing more of an issue. Another thing that was kind of concerning to me, and this is just me personally, I'm just telling you from what I am seeing right now. And you know, there's a lot of things that are showing Jamaicans in a bad light, right? So what I'm saying is, yes, people want to see the videos of what's really going on, you know, on the ground level, what the sufferation looks like, and so forth. But be cognizant that the things you put out there as a content creator affects how people see your people or our people, Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it. A lot of people want to get the views and all these things, and everybody wants to be the first one out there to put out certain content. But be cognizant that you're shining a light on your country, your people, and you know, if people have this misconception that, oh well, that's how Jamaican people act, you're further feeding that stereotype. You know what I say, and that mentality. Because if you notice when them a lot of the times when people do, if you look at, you know, I'm just using any thing that happened in the world, right? If you find that most news media outlets usually use the worst version of an interview them can find because it feeds into the stereotype of what people are looking for, right? It feeds into that stereotype. So you have as a content creator has to be, I mean, you're giving people the raw because again, you still edit your videos and so forth, but some of it is gonna be very raw. At the same time, don't forget that is your people that you are portraying to the rest of the world. This is, you know, this is beyond just Jamaica and YouTube. This is, I mean, people all over the world are seeing this, right? So I'm not saying not to show what is going on, but be cognizant that the things you show to people is reflects on your people. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, by all means, go out there, get the videos, show what is really going on, but understand, say, what you show is what people see, because they don't have no other way for know what really are going on the ground, you know. but you also have to you also have the opportunity to show the resilient side of Jamaicans versus the the not even know the word I look for the word I look for the desperation, right? Desperation, because it doesn't matter where you come from. Desperation to anyone is desperation. You know, as a veteran, I have been deployed to different combat zones in different theaters in the world, and I have seen people at their worst, right? So people just want to live. People just want to survive. People just want food to eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. When you're in a state of desperation, I've deployed to support uh, natural disasters. I was in Guam a year and a half ago, well, over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, supporting them for their typhoon. And it was crazy because they were completely different. Yes, they were in a state of desperation, but they were more concerned about the people that really needed, you know, the relief and the benefits. Because as me always say, everybody has a different situation. There were people that weren't as affected from the storm as there were people that were more affected, and there were people that, if they are trying to help, and they understand that, say it could have been a lot worse for me, but because it's not that bad for me, I still have a roof over my head and so forth. I'm gonna try to help out the people them who really and truly need help. You know what I say? But that does not negate the fact that you need to do it in a safe manner, because again, as I say, the safety of yourself, the safety of the citizens around you. You know what I say? And me not call no name, me not call nobody out or nothing like that. Me just say it's something what me said long before a lot of situations when me see what are going on right now happen, that could have been prevented just if you just take the time and be like, look, all right, let's coordinate, figure out, okay, what is the best location to provide support, right? So right now, and again, I'm not there on the ground, so I can't say exactly what can and cannot happen. I can just go by what I see. And one of the things I see was like they have locations like shelters where you'll have security forces, whether it's the police or the military. I don't know what the status is of it right now, but I mean, if me personally, if I'm going to try to provide some support, I'm going to try to link up with at a location where I know there is some form of security there. One, because you have the opportunity to have control, crowd control, and you also have the opportunity to actually give people the support that they need, the actual people that need it, right? Because at the same time, as I say, if it's a mob mentality, everybody I just grab what they want, grab and take, then guess what? One, not everybody's gonna get what they need to get, and the people that are doing the mob stuff are gonna take more than what they need. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't help either way, you know. And again, when people are desperate, people are gonna do what they need to do to survive, and you can't in essence you can't blame them for that, because you know if you've never been in a survival situation, you won't understand. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's just it's just very distressing to see what is going on. You know, um, I know a lot of people are distressed about how the government responds and all these other things, and that is also a part of um, the response in itself. Because if you've never worked on that Hi, Auntie. Welcome. Welcome in. If you want to jump in, Auntie, anytime. I posted the link in the chat. So if you anytime you want to, anybody that wants to jump up on the chat. But it was just something that was, I've had the conversations with friends and family here. I've had it with friends and family um in Jamaica, and it was just something that just kind of concerned me that was going on, that I was like, you know what, this can get out of control very quickly if people are not paying attention to what's really going on, and people at the same time, everybody wants to help, right? But at the same time, if you're compromising your safety of yourself, if you have a team and you compromise the safety of yourself and your team, and then compromising the safety of the citizens, then you're not helping. You're essentially causing more of a problem more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? So I just want people, yeah, yeah, and Auntie, it's not just the scammers. It's just in general. It's Jamaica is not a place where if you don't have your ears to the ground. I grew up in Jamaica in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. And Jamaica is a place where if you don't have your ears to the ground, you can become a victim very easily. Um, any Jamaicans that are on here understand exactly what I'm talking about, because we always say you can't make people study your movements, right? You can't, like, if I'm going to visit Jamaica, right? I don't even I let certain people know where I'm coming to or where I'm going. So you can't make people know exactly where you are at what particular time, because you never know, right? People see, oh, you're here, you might get set up to get robbed, all these different things. There's so many facets to it. But at the same time, that's not saying Jamaica is a bad place. It's just, to me, that's every city that you go in, right? I live in the States. I live in Baltimore. Baltimore is the per capita the most dangerous city in the country or in the world, based on the murder rate. So, you know, if I'm visiting Memphis, Tennessee, or any one of these places that they can, Chicago, all these places, I make sure that I know the places I'm supposed to go and not supposed to go. Same thing with Jamaica. You can't just say, okay, I want to help people, and you can't just roll up in our garrison and say, yeah, man, semi truck, yeah, full of food. Guess what's gonna happen? Because I can tell you this: in the Jamaica that I grew up in, yeah, man, they would I take all your things. Yeah, man, you roll up with a truck full of food, and bad man just take your things and say, go on home, go on your yard, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm say? And honestly, I'm actually surprised. I'm very surprised that Bet Luke, welcome in. What's going on, brother? Welcome. Just kind of discussing some of the things that's going on in Jamaica right now. But you know, yeah, back in the day, I'm very surprised that more people haven't been robbed and you know trying to help. And that's the sad part, is that you're trying to do the right thing, and your heart's in the right place, and you're trying to be passionate about, because it's a dire situation. And don't feel like we're not all seeing what's going on, because everybody, if they had the opportunity, would try to help out as best they can. But at the same time, you can't compromise your safety too, especially as a content creator. You know, compromise your safety just to get views, right? The views are important because, like I said, it's highlighting what's actually going on the ground, right? Because the news media controls what they put out, right? So do you, because you're kind of considered part of the news media. You know what I'm saying? Whether you choose to accept it or not, as a content creator, you have to be cognizant of the information that you put out. You know, Whistle Stop Homestead, welcome in, welcome in. Okay, okay. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully, you guys can hear me very well. Um, yeah, yeah. I had to switch over. Or you guys having your own conversation, maybe. Well, yeah, I had to switch over from my phone to this app. But anyway, as I was saying, you know, just be cognizant of what you're doing as a content creator out there and the information that you're putting out. Yeah, yeah, I realize, Beltloop. I realize you're having like three conversations. um, because we have a responsibility as content creators of the information we put out there, right? Because it can either be detrimental or it can be informative or both, right? Um, so to me, again, I'm not on the ground in Jamaica. I can only see what I see based on the information that people are putting out there. You know what I'm saying? But to me, again, if people here that want to help can trust the information that they're receiving, then they will not want to help. Well, I won't say not want it, they'll be hesitant to help, right? And that doesn't help anybody else that actually needs the help. This is it's what I'm trying to say, you know. So, it's a bad situation right now. And like I said, so many sources, I live in a world where it's important to get information from um, multiple sources because you know everybody's biased to what they believe in. That you're crazy, man. Look, I don't know if many rednecks that can type that fast, so that's a good skill. That's a good skill. Yeah, yeah, auntie. It's a very bad situation, but again, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, one of the main things, I work in an industry, I work in investigation. So one of the things for me is being kind of trying to, and again, trying to verify the information, especially in times like this, right? So we're in, you know, it just so happens Jamaica got hit in at a very bad time of the year, right? One, there's a government shutdown right now in the States. So there's a lot of family members that are government employees or benefit from government subsidies and so forth. So it's just a really bad situation right now. The only good thing I would say about it is that this is the time of the year where Oliver, blessings, Oliver, Moose, blessings and welcome. Yeah, man. So we're in a time of the year where people are the most generous, right? So here in the States right now, um, Diane, blessings, Diane, welcome. So we're in a time of the year right now where it's the holiday season. So it's Thanksgiving is the next holiday, Christmas, and then New Year's. So we're actually in. It's bad that a hurricane happened at this time of the year with everything that's going on here in the States, but it's also a good time because this is at when people are at their most generous at the same time, which in itself can be good and bad at the same time. Why? Because people take advantage of the fact that people's hearts are a lot more open this time of the year, and they will essentially are more giving at this time of the year, which is when the scammers usually come out at this time of the year anyway, right? So now you have a situation where it's doubled, where the situation that's going on in Jamaica, plus the fact that people are more giving at this time of the year, is definitely an opportunity for people to take advantage of the situation. you know. So my whole thing is just be careful, you know. Um, as Woman said, I've been trying to put out as much information as I can on my community posts. If I get websites that are scam websites and so forth, I've been trying to put out as much. If I get updated information, I try to send that out, you know. And yeah, yeah, Patrick, same thing. Yep, absolutely, same thing, Auntie. It's just the time of year, you know. And at the end of the day, like I said, it's not that people don't want to help, but when people start trying to help and they get, for a better use of the term, they get burned, then they're more hesitant to help people that really need help. And the only people that suffers is actually the people that really need the help. You know, that's the hardest part. You know, that people at some point are like, you know what, I'm not sending my hard-earned money to this person or that person or this charity or that charity because, you know, I got scammed. And then the people that really and truly need it, they don't get it, you know. So and really and truly, that's the people who suffer the most, is the ones that really need it, you know. So like I said, I have had, you know, multiple conversations with a lot of people. Yeah, no, yeah, Diane, that's true. And you know what? People have to realize that too. There's a lot of people that haven't even been contacted yet because there's no access to their locations by road, right? So there's a lot of people still haven't been like helped yet. You know what I'm saying? So there's the possibility that a lot of people that are getting the help right now are probably getting a lot more help than some people that haven't gotten any help at all. You know, and that's one of the reasons why I was saying about being cognizant as a YouTuber or as a content creator in Jamaica that's trying to go out and help, of where you go, the security of the location that you're going to, and be cognizant that you're putting yourself, not just yourself, in danger, but you're putting also the high season. Welcome in. You know, you're putting citizens in danger as well. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, people are desperate, and if you come into a location that has zero security and you have a truckload or a bag full of food or stuff like that, and people see the opportunity to take more than what they need, that's what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? That's human nature, you know. And my whole concern is just being, one, you're being safe, so you have the opportunity to actually go back out there and help somebody else, because that can be discouraging as well. I mean, imagine you as a person going out there to provide support to people in need, and the same people that you went out to support is the same people that mob you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you're gonna your mindset is, I want to help, but I'm not gonna put myself in danger. And it might just be one or two people, not my, you know, might not be the entire community or wherever you're trying to help. Hey, Marines and Army Mom, welcome, welcome in. You know, so my whole goal is to just be, you know, think about what you're doing and understand that there are processes to. I think a lot of people have this mindset about trusting the system, and we all know this. Sometimes the system, you know, every system has faults, and it doesn't work. You know, we can make a plan. You know, as Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan till you get punched in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And we know in every system there's these programs that are set in place, and it looks good on paper, and we're like, yeah, man, Soon as this happens, we'll have this on the ground, and everybody's gonna get. And we know when it actually happens, does not work that way. We know that. If you've ever been into a in any situation, it doesn't matter what the situation is. It could be just a everyday, your everyday life, right? You plan your life out, and you saying, okay, if this happens, I'm going to do this, and if this happens, I'm going to do this. And when it actually happens, that's not how it goes, right? Because that's life. That's how it goes. But the one thing you do have is the option to make an informed decision, right? And in order to make an informed decision, you have to take information from multiple sources to make an informed decision, especially when it comes to your safety. You know, that's to me, that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, if you get hurt or injured, then that basically takes away from you helping anybody, right? If you can't help yourself, you can't help nobody. If you're out of the fight, guess what? You can't help nobody, you know. So just be cognizant of, I mean, this goes both for my people in Jamaica trying to support the people in need, and for my people here in the States that's trying to support the people in need in Jamaica as well. You know, be make sure you have a good plan. Make sure you talk it out, because like I said, a lot of us just literally want to jump at the opportunities to say, I'm sending money, I'm sending this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But the question you have to ask yourself is it going to go to the people that you're trying to help? Is it going to get to the people that you're trying to help? There's a lot of organizations out there. Bill, welcome in. There's a lot of organizations out there like the Red Cross. I mean, a lot of different organizations, nonprofit organizations that are out there. The problem is that you, like I know, if you've ever donated to any of these organizations, you kind of really don't know where your donation goes. You really because there's such a huge organization. So, if you're yeah, they usually have individual links set up. Hey Terry, welcome in, brother. Welcome. Long time. You know, but exactly. Yeah. See, that was a lot of nonprofits spend the money, almost everything at the top. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, they do set up links to different disasters and so forth, but it goes into that big pool of money, right? And you don't know how much of that is going to the relief effort that you're specifically supporting. You know what I'm saying? Which that could kind of steer you into a bad situation where you're like, okay, this one says specifically for Jamaica, so I'm going to go ahead and send my money there. And then guess what happens? That money, that's just some scam website that was set up to take your money in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard. I know it's very hard but what I'm saying is do your research. It's probably easier if you have someone on the ground there, that you can reach out to and say, okay, I'm gonna send this directly to you. Um, right now, I know they have an option to send stuff to Jamaica where they're not charging any tariffs on um, supplies that are coming in for relief. So if you're planning on sending a barrel or something like that, now would be a good time to do that. But again, you still need someone on the ground there that's gonna, you know, on the back end to pick up the well, clear the barrel and then distribute it to wherever you want to distribute it to. Let me see what Betloop says. Kind of like fires in California, millions raised, but very, yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And that kind of leaves a bad taste in people's mouth, right? Like when you're doing it to all these charities. um I mean, it's just like here, we have charities every year where we donate clothes and shoes and all these things to different charities where you can just go to a bin, drop off clothes, but where does it really go? I found out a couple of years ago. What is that? What is that charity? I can't remember the name of it. It's a very well-known charity. When I remember, I will tell you. I might have to look it up. But when you donate stuff to them, guess what they do? They actually kind of refurbish the stuff and then resell it. So basically, they're getting 100% profit from your donation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I gotta tell you which one it is. It's annoying me now, but I found that out a couple of years ago that and I was donating to them for years. Um, and every time I donated, I would donate like shoes, clothes, all these stuff. Didn't even realize that the actually how I found out was I donated some furniture to them. Oh, Goodwill. Goodwill. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Moose. Goodwill. Thank you. Yes, Goodwill. 100%. There you go. So if you guys don't know this, when you donate to Goodwill, Goodwill essentially sells the stuff you donate, right? So they don't take it and give it to the people in need. They actually sell it, you know. And this is what I said about knowing where you're donating um, your stuff to, right? Because you see nonprofit, you see all these different places, and you don't realize that they're actually making a. Can you imagine, like literally everything you donate to them, they sell. So that they're basically making 100% profit because they got it for free. You know. Yeah. See, Diane said the wharf is free until the end of November. So I think it's like November 30th is when that ends, where you can send stuff to Jamaica. You can send barrels and stuff, and you don't have to pay that tariff on goods and services that are coming in. So if you if you if you're planning on sending stuff down to support people in Jamaica, just know that between now and the end of the month, it's tariff free. All right, so that's good information to know. Yeah, yeah, Moose. Yeah, yeah, Oliver. Exactly. You know, and yeah, I did not know that until I tried to. I tried to donate furniture to them one time, and they were like, "Oh, well, we can't accept it because it don't, clean enough for us." Some situations. So I was like, "Okay, it's a donation. What are you guys doing with it?" And I was like, "Well, we can't. We sell it. We can't." So man, I said, "Well, so now when I get it for free, I'm gonna sell it." I did not know that. It took me years to realize that all these years I've been donating to Goodwill, that they were getting 100% profit from what I donate to them. What I got? Margaret Smith, welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah. So, oh, they put another month out of us. Okay, so here's Oliver saying that they probably, I think he's saying they might have extended it all the way out to December. So that's something good to know. As I'm say, I'm not there on the ground, so it's good to have people here that can verify that information of what is going on in Jamaica right now. See, I honestly don't know what to think of about Goodwill. I was under the impression that the less fortunate received because I was on. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying is a lot of these nonprofits, what they do is their bottom line is some of them are Fortune 500 companies, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So see what Season said, that a lot of people have been waiting on. So that's the other thing that I'm saying. that I wanted to bring up is that, a lot of people want to help right away, but you have to understand everything is backed up right now, right? So imagine if you've never sent, if you ever send stuff to Jamaica, it takes, depending on what you send. If you send a barrel, that depending on the shipping company, usually takes about 3 weeks to even get to Jamaica, and then maybe another week before they even strip down, take the barrel off the container, and then maybe another week before they even let you know that the barrel is there. So you're talking about 3 to 6 weeks just for you to even get notified that there's a barrel there for you to pick up. So imagine all those shipments are now about 3 to 6 weeks, so probably about 12 weeks back now, because nothing could be shipped during the time of the storm, all the way from before because you have to think about from the time the storm started to the time the storm passed, right? So everything is backed up right now. So you might have sent something right after the storm ended, and it still won't be there for another 3 to 6 weeks, you know? So that's what I'm saying is it doesn't help to rush to get the stuff there, because it's probably going to get there in the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as much as people are um trying to help, it's almost like you're not helping by rushing. You know what I'm saying? So, go out there, do the research, get the information, find out this, if you're using a shipping company, find out what is the shipping time right now, like all these different things, right? Yeah, there you go. It's going to cause an overload. So, and then here's the other thing you have to think about, right? So the people that actually work at the wharf, right? A lot of them were affected by the storm as well. So they might be more worried about themselves and not worried about going to work. Or think about this as well. I'm not saying everybody's that way, but we know what Jamaica run already. So imagine you're sending stuff for your friends and family. You think, to be honest, you honestly, one of the things that the people that will work at the wharf now gonna take people things while coming at the shipments. Of course they are. You know, we're no fool, we're no big head bud. We know how people operate. And that's what I say, when people are desperation, they're gonna do things that's outside of their character. You know? So imagine if I'm working at the wharf and my entire house blow away. I mean, I have no electricity, I mean, I have no food and all these things. And all these barrels are coming with food and all these things. Guess what I'm gonna do? They're gonna take it. It's human nature. You know what I mean? I say it's survival of the fittest. And you have access to see exactly what is coming in. And this happens on a regular basis without even a hurricane. You know what I mean? I said before, even without a hurricane, this is happening already. This is like a daily thing we're going on anyway. So imagine now, yeah, of course, you're in a survival mode, and guess what? Where's a barrel? Food? Yeah, man, never take that, man. Of course. And anyone of the Jamaicans, them who know how things run. We don't know that, right? We don't know that. Sir Godfrey, blessings, bro. Hey, I got your message, man. I've been trying to reach out, and if for anyone that's on the live, I've been trying to reach out to Juba, Bruce Love, and I haven't been able to contact him. I have his number, Sir Godfrey, so I just didn't get an opportunity to contact you back today. But yeah, I've been trying to call him, but I suspect that because of the communication being down, that's probably why I haven't heard back from him. But yeah, Sir Godfrey, I got your message. I just didn't get a chance to respond back to you. And I do have his number, and I've been trying to call him, but no response yet. Mr. Diane says some person send funds and persons purchase at price mark, then they distribute. Up. Yeah, yeah. So, and the crazy, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm glad you said that too, because that's good information for people here to know that it might actually be better to even send the money Again, you have to have somebody on the ground that can do it. That can do it. But it's probably better to the time it would take for you to ship a barrel. It's probably easier for you to send the money to somebody that's trustworthy, so they can go to PriceSmart and buy the goods and services. You know what I'm saying? Because as a matter of fact, I know Western Union has a program right now, and I think it kind of runs in conjunction with the shipping thing, where they're not charging you a service fee if you're sending money to Jamaica. I think that goes through November as well too. So I remember seeing that when the storm just happened. So that's probably something to, if you have friends and family here, to actually reach out to them and have them check on that. And I think that is correct, because I have sent money Western Union. I just didn't even really pay attention because they really don't charge that much anyway. But that's probably something that you need to discuss with your friends and family as well too. It's like it's probably easier to just send the money, because again, for the people that are there in Jamaica, they know, they're on the ground and they understand. Okay, yeah, Price Smart probably cheaper to go, get the money, pick it up from Western Union, and then, as opposed to, because a lot of times people are so, let me say, happy to have stuff shipped from the States. But to me, it's like if it's available in Jamaica and you can't get it there, it's the same thing. You know what I say? It's the same thing. So, that might be a better way to, again, it depends. Some things you might find cheaper up here. But again, you have to look at the cost comparison and say, okay, is it more feasible to ship a barrel with all these things? Yes, if I can find them cheaper, if the shipment, if it works out to be this, if it works out to be the same, then it's probably just easier for me to send the money to Jamaica to somebody there and have them do it. You know. Let me see. I'm sorry. Keep up with the chat there. Godfrey's here. Margaret Smith. Barbara went. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. So that's what I'm say. You have to find somebody where you can trust to get that done on that end. Russia, blessings, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So it's that's the other part of it, right? Is finding somebody trustworthy to basically do what you ask them to do on the back end of it. Let me see. So you have to trust the people, plus they can show you. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I kind of, the people that I deal with in general, people say that to me all the time. Well, I want to show you the receipts and stuff like that. But yeah, I get that part of it. But me can't tell you this. Me know the people that move me send things to, me trust them. So it's who you trust on. At the end of the day, as what you said, people want to see the results of what's being said, right? And at the same time, that's one of the reasons why, like, I could have easily set up like a GoFundMe, all these things here, but I didn't want to do that because I don't want the response. I would rather put that person in direct contact with somebody there that needs something, versus me doing a GoFundMe. I'm getting all these funds, and I have to be responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's easier to find somebody trustworthy on that end, and if somebody wants to help them directly, they can reach out to them, because as you can see, it causes problems. It causes problems because then you have to account for the money that's being donated to you. You have to show people, which you should, of course. If people are donating money to you, you should have accountability of that money and show people that the money that you're getting is being used to what you asked for. You know, at the same time, people that are donating should understand that, you know, there are expenses to to distribution, right? It's common sense to know that, okay, yes, I donated money to support a cause, but understand that, yeah, well, yeah, you did send me money, but I have to buy gas, all these other things. So at some point, me as the person providing the service is gonna need some of those funds to do what I need to do, right? So at the same time, you can't expect, say, if you send donations to whoever, whatever organization or whatever individual person or whoever, that they as long as they're transparent and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing with the money. Yeah, I needed to drive here. It takes this much fuel to get here. I don't feel like you should have to really get into details with that, but I feel like, yeah, people really and truly want to see where their money is going. What I say. And again, if you're honest with people, then people will trust you to help you out, or help you to help somebody else at the same time. What I say. You know, so the whole part of it is just being transparent. If you're a person that wants to, go in and decide that you're gonna do something like that, where you want to start a fundraiser or something like that, just understand that you are responsible for the money that you collect. You're responsible to the people that sent you that money or that donation, whether it be food, whatever it is. You have taken on that responsibility, and it is your responsibility to make sure that the people that are supporting you see what their donations are going to, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody don't want, as much as people love to help, nobody don't really want to do that if they don't realize, if they don't see what is being done. Which is crazy, because there's a lot a lot of us donate all the time, and never really see where the funding goes. We never really see the the human results, is what I should say, right? So a lot of times we see stuff, but we never see the human results of what really happens on the back end of whatever donation that you decided that you were gonna send out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, season, you're right, and that's what I'm saying. If you want to be transparent, yeah, and receipts doesn't mean the actual receipts, right? It could be showing people what you're actually doing with the donations, right? By actually going out there showing people that, hey, this is the cases of water, this is the food. It could be just cooking food, right? We see a lot of people doing that now already. A lot of YouTubers, long before a hurricane happened, was out there cooking for people, based on the donations that they receive from other people. And people appreciate that. People appreciate the fact that you're cognizant of their generosity, and you're cognizant that people want to see results based on them trying to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting that, again, like I said, we're in a we live in a time of instant gratification, right? Give me 1 second, man. I have to plug in my computer before the battery start die. So I'm gonna move over to the other side of the basement. I'm down here watching football as well, my family. It's football Sunday. I'm on vacation. I'm on leave. So, but yeah, people want to see the results of their donations. And we live in a time of instant gratification, where people want to see things happen, and they want to see it happen now. You know? And sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's better to wait, kind of let things settle down, you know, and then Sorry, let me, yeah, kind of let things settle down, and then actually send the things. You might have to wait a week, 2 weeks from now, send off the things them, or as one may say, maybe the better option is to send the money directly to somebody trustworthy that's gonna that's gonna do what you ask them to do, right? And as one may say, understand that those people that you're asking to do that mission, if that's what you want to call it, are going to they're gonna need support themselves, right? Because remember I said them I go through it too, you know. So if you send somebody, say you send somebody 200 US, I don't know, that's what, like maybe 30,000 Jamaican or whatever. Don't expect that they're not gonna take something out of it to support themselves as well, because they might take care of people. All right, Belt Loop. Thanks for checking in. Checking in. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, man, just tap the like button when you're on your way out, my brother. Um, but yeah, you know, again, like I said, if you find somebody trustworthy that will do what you ask them to do, but don't feel like they don't. If I I talk to a lot of my friends and family, not just from in general, but like a lot of YouTubers. I have a relationship with that I talk to all the time, and we reason, and that keeps me in the loop of what's really going on. And like some, I don't know what's going on in Jamaica because I then me grew up. I tell people all the while, say when you see me, I don't understand. So I grew up. I know everything about my homeland. I know, I know the good, the bad, and the ugly. Trust me, you know. So, me not talk from a era of inexperience. Me I tell you what me know, you know. And me understand. Me know. Me keep my head to the me keep my ears to the ground. And me know what I go on. See, I live all life. I live I know what me I talk about. I live I know what me I talk about. You know what I say? That's just the way it is. That's how I was raised. I'm a 70s baby. So, we keep our ears to the ground. And we not stay out of the loop. You know what I say? So we know what's going on. But my whole thing is this. One, be honest with the people who are who are provide support. Understand say right now people are going through some things up here as well. As I say, it could have been it couldn't be the more worst time Jamaica have a natural disaster, because right now I'm a government employee. There's a lot of Jamaicans here that are government employees or work for government entities that them not get pay right now. So them in a situation themselves, you know. So be cognizant that you might have family members up there so right now we can would have loved to provide some support, but they cannot do it right now because they've been in a situation themselves. They're not in the dire situation that you are in, as somebody maybe lost their roof or their house or something like that. But understand that they might not have the opportunity to help you right now, even though they're gonna try their best to do that as well. You know. So as I said before, the help is coming. It's gonna be slow, but it's coming. And as I say, as long as you have life, you have hope. You know what I say? I see a lot of people. I tell people all the while, I say people don't understand until it affects them directly. Right? People generally don't understand situations until it affects them directly. And at the end of the day, you have to be, people talk about resilience, and resilience is a hell of a word that people use all the time but not really understand. And resilience is taking your situation and making the best of it. You know what I'm saying? Because believe it or not, one of the things, I work in disaster management for a very long time. And one of the things with people, what I notice for the most part when there's a natural disaster is that most people, I won't say most people because I can't speak for most people, but people in general, well, if you guys know, do you know why a lot of people don't want to leave their houses? Like even if they know the house are gonna flood and so forth. Type in the chat. I got an opportunity. Tell me, why do you think when there's a natural disaster and you know that you're in danger of losing your life based on the location that you live, whether it's by flooding, whatever it is, why do you think most people won't leave their house? Now, I'm going to a few seconds to type in that. Type in some responses. Just in general, like go to a shelter, whatever. Like if they say this is a mandatory evacuation based on flooding. All right, so you live in a low-lying area. For example, let's use Louisiana, Katrina as an example. So there's two facets to it, but I want to get you guys' opinion on why do you think most people won't leave their homes when there is like the threat of loss of life due to mandatory evacuations? Why do you think most people won't leave their house or leave where they live? And I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but more on see what on the thought process. Give me 1 second, but type that in. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go get my phone, but type that in. Okay. I love it. I love it. Give me 1 second, family. All right. Sorry about that. I had to go get my phone. Oh yeah. So perfect. 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 So Season said it and Margaret Smith said it, right? When you leave, you can get back home. When you do get home, everything is gone. They're afraid of losing their belongings. 100%. 100%. 100%. That's the reason why most people don't leave their homes, because they're worried about the material things that they're going to lose. But to me is this. You can buy a new TV, you can buy new furniture. You right? So you can evacuate and you take your important stuff, your documents, jewelry, if that's important to you. But to me, the most important thing is life, right? Because you can always come back if you survive. You can always come back and rebuild. Yeah, that's true too. There you go, Diane. Some people don't have nowhere to go. So those are actually the three or the two reasons, the two biggest reasons why most people won't leave their property or their houses. One, they have nowhere to go, right? Which is in some senses is true but not true, because again, depending on where you live, there might be shelters, right? But again, most people don't want to go to a shelter because of they worried about the security. There's so many aspects to that as well, right? You know, um, you don't want to go put yourself in like me personally. I wouldn't want to put myself in a situation where I have to go to a shelter and deal with other people. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big concern, because there's not a lot of securities. I was watching a video just recently. I think it was yesterday or the day before, in Jamaica. They was talking about one of the shelters there where, yeah, Godfrey, exactly. They're afraid people will steal their things, And I was watching a video in Jamaica just recently where they were saying, I can't remember what parish it was, but the shelter was asking to have 24-hour police presence. And to me, I'm like, why wouldn't you not have police presence for 24 hours in a shelter? Because remember, a shelter houses people from different all different walks of life, from the good, the bad, and the ugly, as what I say. You have criminals there, you have all kind of people there, right? You have kids there, you have women there, you have what we call the vulnerable, elderly people. So the vulnerable part, the three of the most vulnerable part of society are the women, the children, and the elderly, right? And you're telling people that, okay, we need you to evacuate, we need you to go stay at this shelter, but you don't have no security. Because remember, this the whole concept of this conversation is about safety and security, right? And the basic human needs that a government should provide is security. You know, well, season, check this out. That's so here's a good point that you brought up, right? A lot of people saying they didn't know how bad the storms would be, but are you willing to take that chance, right? And season, there you go. Some people are not prepared. This is one of the conversations I wanted to have at the Tiki Bar. Funny enough, right before the storm dropped, I was going to have this conversation about how prepared are you, right? Because people, it's almost like insurance, right? You have it just in case you need it until you need it, right? And if you never have to use it, you say, "Why me pay all this money for this insurance?" But you never really need it until you really need it. It's just preparation is the same thing, right? You prepare, right? You prepare just mentally, physically, financially, all those things. People don't think about those things until they're in that situation, you know. And it's crazy to think that in a time where anything can happen at any time. And not only that, this storm was sitting outside off the coast of Jamaica for weeks. I think it's like 2 weeks before the storm actually hit. So, and I was watching, as I was saying, I was watching the video. So, two things. I was watching the video last week, and I remember, one of the council members, I believe, I can't remember if it was a member of parliament or a council member, and they were talking about, telling people that they need to evacuate. This is before the storm hit, and say, um, go to the shelter, but they don't have the facilities to support the people that they were telling to go to the shelter. So to me, it's like, how do you send people to a shelter? You don't have water, you don't have cots for them to sleep on, or bedding and all these things. Yeah, then people are gonna go back home. Nobody not gonna come to your shelter, you know. And that's what I'm saying, Diane, is that if you have to have a capacity of how many people you can hold. So basically, you're supposed to say, all right, I have this many beds set up, I have this much water based on the amount of people. So one person, because it's a numbers game, right? So I talk about planning. It's a numbers game. If my shelter hold 1,000 people, right, the maximum them can hold is 1,000 people safely, and that means that I plan for have 1,000 beds. I'm gonna have based on how many days I think that I'm gonna need to open the shelter for. So some need after this from the time the storm pass through the time the storm is out of there. So maybe it's 10 days. Okay, how many bottles of water does it take to sustain a person for 10 days? You know what I say? Those are all those things that when it comes to planning, it's part of, as I said, disaster management I've worked in. So I know it's a numbers game and you have to plan accordingly, right? So I have to make sure so I have enough beds, I have enough facilities to support the people that I'm gonna have at the shelter. I may have the means to support them, which is food and water. You understand what I'm saying? And again, this is something that's it's very heartbreaking to me to see that in 2025 that Jamaica has not even considered that concept of, oh yeah, just go out of shelter. That's not how it works. You can't just tell people say, oh, just go out on a shelter. It's not how it works. You have to have the facilities to maintain those people and then you have your resupply. So basically, if you say, okay, for 10 days, I need 1,000 bottles of water to support 1,000 people. And after those 10 days, I need to get a resupply of 1,000 bottles of water for the next 10 days. You understand what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing is like a lot of people, it's different for me because I know how that operationally, how that works. But when you're in the situation, you're not even thinking about it because you just want to survive. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Sorry, let me catch up on the chat. I saw on social media that a man was molesting. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Crazy enough, that happens a lot because you have people are vulnerable, and it's sad to say that you have bad people in the world, and they're gonna do them kind of thing. Then when they get the opportunity to do it, that's why you need security, right? See what Season say. Season say if you lived through storms before, yes, because I've been through Gilbert. I was there. I was in Gilbert in '88. That's actually the worst storm I ever lived through was 1980 election. So if you believe a Waterhouse during 1980 election, trust me, that is the worst storm I ever lived through. But anyway, but you're right. You get a false if you survive it once, you have this false sense of security that you're gonna be able to survive it a second time. Remember, this is, and this storm could have been a lot worse. This storm could have been a lot worse than it is. Because if that storm, I will tell you this, if that storm had come across central Jamaica, if that storm they took the same path as Gilbert, trust me, it would have been a lot more deaths, and it would have been a lot more devastating. Believe me. If you remember the part of Gilbert, 'cause remember I said Gilbert actually turned around when he hit the mountains. If you don't remember, some of you guys are probably old enough to remember Gilbert, but yeah, it would have been a lot worse if that storm had come up the central part of Jamaica and hit the full island. It would have been worse. It would have been 10 times worse. You know, so that in itself is a blessing. Yeah, as what you said, there's this thing. Um, what do they call it? The phases of. um, Hold on, let me see if we can find it. I think they call it the phases of acceptance. Hold on. Just something coming to like put out bad information. So let me look it up. Hold on. What they call it? The 5 stages of grief. Five. I said the 5 stages of grief. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So actually, we're gonna talk about the 5 stages of grief, and this actually kind of fit this situation. So the 5 stages of grief is denial, right? As what Godfrey just said, denial. So you get the information and you say, boy, nah man, this not God, man. This happened all the while. Storm passed through and we're good, you know. Um so Godfrey has been waiting for the storm for 8 days. Yeah. So right. So them in the denial stage, right? Them denial. We always say denial is not a river in Egypt. All right. So, but Season, them have the information was there, and as you said before, people when they've been through a situation like that and they survived it, they believe they don't take it to heart, right? They feel like, oh, I'm good, I don't have to worry about it, right? So then the next stage is anger, right? So so they never believe it before, them in a denial. Then when it actually happened, they must say, but you never give me all of the information. Yes, the information was there, you just decided not to pay attention, right? You just decided that, no man, it's not gonna affect me. I'm good to go. Right? Then the next, I mean, this is just the stages of grief. This is just the stages of grief, but it's so fitting, right? Bargaining. All right. You start bargaining, you start say, well, me did believe it, but me never really believe it. And because me not trust the government and me not trust the weatherman, me never think say it really got me. Even though the storm slung on the outside of the outskirts of Jamaica for the last couple days. All right. Then depression. Once the thing hit now, when I say, boy, Jaja, if me did listen, right? And then acceptance, because then at this point, you know, I'm not choice to accept it because it actually happened, you know. So, oh yeah, absolutely. If they come from Kingston, if they blow across the island, trust me, it would be a lot worse. Actually, even if it did come from Kingston and go straight up through the center of Jamaica, and it basically the cone would have hit essentially most of the island. And believe it or not, people don't realize, you know, you see Kingston, even though Kingston is a, you know, the major city in Jamaica, Kingston has less, well, me say this for the poor people, them. Kingston has less infrastructure for poor people than because most houses, you notice most houses will build a country, them build them solid, you know. Aside from say Greater Portmore or Spanish Town or places like that. Not all the places are Spanish Town. I talk about like the scheme them were are concrete houses, right? Those houses can withstand a storm, right? We used to live at Spanish Town, live at Elton Park, and a lot of the houses at Greater Portmore are built concrete houses, you know, precast houses. So they can withstand any storm, right? But if you look at Kingston in general, if you look at especially the garrison communities, as I tell you, I know what I talk about. The garrison communities are mostly, you have a whole heap of capture land. So you find say a lot of the houses there are zinc houses. You know what I say? And for the people, blessing Sister Charmaine, welcome. Welcome. As I'm saying, anybody can come up on the live anytime, you know. I have the link set up already. I pin the link on the live. So anybody want just will I talk with me. They I talk now for about an hour, almost an hour and a half. But I love the conversation still, you know. So you find say, as what me say, if that storm came through Kingston, remember I said Kingston is by density, Kingston have the most people in a one location in Jamaica, you know. So if that the storm they come through all Kingston, Garrison community, them Tivoli, Riverton, all them place there, flooding, houses gone, all them it would have been a lot more. It would have been a lot worse. And you know, so Kingston can't deal with flood when it comes to flooding. And then the water not have nowhere to go in a outer kickers. Remember, so the storm a blow through Kingston Harbor. So the water not have nowhere to go. You know what I say? So it's just the way it is. It's just I mean, that's Jamaica in general. I mean, people see it's kind of crazy that people see Jamaica and they must say, then as long as Jamaica has been a country and when go through storm all the while, why not build the house in the same place? I mean, people can't afford it, right? Especially like I said, if you live on a piece of capture land, you're not gonna really build what you call it? You're not gonna build a concrete house because you don't own the you don't own the land. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, why would you build a concrete house on a land property where you don't own? You know? And it's crazy because a lot of capture land in Jamaica is not well, I guess I wouldn't say not owned by the government, but not developed by the government. And they're not really going to I mean, it would be problems for them even for trying to move people off of them land. So you find say generations of people have lived on capture land. You know what I say? But you would think at some point, and this is what I say, when I talk about common sense, right? So you have all this capture land that people live on and then build zinc house, whatever, upon it. Why wouldn't you as the government say, all right, when you live on the land, sometimes for generations, why wouldn't you just, you know what? The government could own the land and you just pay taxes on it. So you get a revenue, at least to the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about things like that. Like, why wouldn't you do something like that? You know what I'm saying? So, but kind of go off tangent sometimes still. But, you know, at the end of the day, as what I say, the whole point of this conversation was the fact that, you know, like I said before, there's a lot of people, especially civilians, that are trying to help. And that's Jamaicans in general. Jamaicans, we don't wait upon. people for help we, right? Because if that was the case, we'll never get nothing done, right? So you always find say when natural, especially when natural disaster happen. When natural disaster happen, Jamaicans them now wait for the government to come in and clear the road and all and thing there. Remember when me I grew up, if pothole na the road, a man would come out with some with a bag of cement and some mix and patch the road, right? Because I'm now wait for the government to come do it, you know? And that's just Jamaicans in general. You know what I say? It doesn't negate the responsibility that the government has to take care of its people. You know what I say? And to me, again, as what I say, as a me I speak from a military perspective, right? Because as what I say, I'm 25 years in the military. I've learned a lot of things. And one of the most important things what people don't think about until they need it is security. You have to start with security. You can't do nothing without you can't you really and truly can't do nothing without security. If you realize, even when a house dep on fire, fireman now go in the house until they realize say the house secure. That means that nobody now shoot off of them, all these things. There has to be some kind of security set up before firefighters will go in and do what them do. Right? So to me, and this is just my personal opinion, right? As I said, me not call out no the government or how them a do them job or whatever. But to me, if once this hurricane started, or once it ended, and you could actually move people around, the first thing you're supposed to do is get your military. Depending upon what the devastation is, you get your military out there, you get your civilian, your law enforcement out there, and you start secure locations. The first locations you want to secure is your shelters, as I said, because that's where your most vulnerable people are, right? And not only that, you stand the opportunity if you have give me 1 second here. You stand the opportunity to help.
My brother, welcome everybody. I'm safe, my brother.
How would that, Carvel?
What's up,
I
Mr.
can't
Winston?
I can't see you, bro. Where you there?
Why the hurricane mash up the place, boy?
You're good, though. You all right?
You hear me?
Yeah, me I hear you. Me I hear, but me can't see you. You say you don't have no light.
Bro, the place is dark, man. Remember hurricane, my brother?
Yeah, man. How you stay? You good? You can't hear me?
Yeah, man, you sick that bad, man. They just a check in, you know?
Okay, okay. Well, it's good to hear from you, man. Good to hear from you. That's what we want. We want people to check in and make sure so them all right, because we're not hearing from a lot of people. You there? Like the signal bad. Yeah, him signal bad. But that's what I talk about. So, as what I say, at the end of the day, you have to start with security. And once you secure everything, then you can provide support. That means that you can send in the relief efforts, and you already have the security established. Whether it be a community center, stadium, whatever you decide to use, but at least you have the security. No, so now people can actually, you can truck in, fly in, whatever you do to bring in the support, and then people can actually come in an orderly fashion, and everybody get the opportunity to get what them need support wise. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what Season says. Yeah, Season. I haven't heard from Juba either. I mean, I've been calling him. I have his number, but I've been calling him, and again, from what I'm hearing is that the sorry here. Um, uh, the signal is still bad because he's from what's that area? Lacovia in Saint Elizabeth. I think that's what it's called. Um, and I think they got hit very bad. So I haven't heard anything from Juba. So as I say, if anybody that's in that area, um, they can give Juba a link, you know, I'll make we know say I'm all right. That would be great. That would be great. Like I said, I have his number. I have been calling him, but I haven't heard from him in no response. So I kind of suspect that he probably doesn't have any electricity or the phone. I'm hoping his phone is, down and stuff like that. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But if anybody has contact with Juba and knows him all right, just give me a shout, let me know. You know, yeah. And that's it. That is it. We are checking for my family. As I say, my YouTube family, my friends, and my family out there. You know. So yeah, man. But as what me say, people, wanna just be careful out there. Don't um don't sacrifice your safety because for views. But I said that in the beginning of this whole thing. You know. Um. Yeah, season. That's what I said. I don't think there's any reception where he is. Um. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, as woman said, hopefully he is doing okay. Um, he's doing okay, and we won't know until, as woman say, his phone might be dead. All these different things, but we always hope for the best. So hopefully he's okay. As woman say, if anybody has any contact with him, and just let me know. Okay, he's with someone. Okay, all right. So that's good. That's actually good because that was my concern. Was that because I know he's in a wheelchair. Um, so I was hoping that he was with someone, um, and he's able to get out of the house. So that's good. That's good to know, season. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I just want touch base with him at least, or somebody touch base with him and make me know say him okay. Because as I say, I want to make sure say everybody okay. I mean, there's a lot of people that are haven't contacted family members and so forth, and I know it's very frustrating when you can't talk to somebody and find out what them status is. So hopefully, as I say, am I all right and things are not too bad. Because as I say, as long as we have life, we have hope. You know what I say? Yeah. Well, yeah, man. That's what me. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thanks for the update. I appreciate that. Yeah. Like I said, I have been calling him. I have been calling him to try to find out how he's been. So yeah, man. See him so sorry, Oliver. See him so. See, say he was with a family member. So that's what I say. It's crazy how over the years, when this last year of doing YouTube, I've connected with so many people, and you're it's interesting. Interesting that yes, Diane, absolutely. It's interesting how you never meet somebody, but you have a connection with them. You know what I say? It's crazy, man. It's crazy how you can connect with people without even really and truly meeting them in person. You know, and me have this. Well, I mean, I don't know. Me have this thing about me is a sense where. a gift for God give me, me. One, me can tell if you're full of crap. We can't talk to somebody for 5 minutes and really tell if them full of nonsense. You know what I say? I'm gonna subscribe to nonsense, you know? And anybody will know me, really and truly know me not really subscribe to nonsense. But that's what I tell people all the while, man. You see good people are good people. You know? You have good people and you have bad people. And you usually generally um if you pay attention, you will know the good people versus the bad people. Sometimes the bad people them hide under good. Well, you say the wolf in a sheep clothing. Sometimes you find some of them there, but them can't hide for long still. You know, yeah, man. They can never hide for long. Generally the bad people, them bad intentions usually come out. They might say certain things, but if you, as what me say, if you really pay attention, because the one thing what people can't hide, you see this, or something where you can't hide, Me not care. Oh, me not care. Oh, you try if you lie and manipulate people. You see this right there, so you see this facial expressions. Yeah, man, you can't hide it, man. You can't hide it. You can try your best and squint your eye and all the things them when you do, but you can't hide your when it comes to your facial expressions, you can't hide your body unless if you can really and truly do that, then you are a psychopath. Only psychopaths are very good at that. So, like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, you know what I'm saying? There you go. There you go, Margaret. That's right. Yeah. Only psychopaths can really and truly hide their true intentions. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, 'cause, we meet people and the serial kid, yeah. So you find some people that can do that facially, hide them true expressions. Yeah, they're generally psychopaths and they're yeah. They have people in their fridge, you know? No, the only thing we have in my fridge are pork, and food, but then the people have remains in their fridge. But yeah, man, that's what I said. I just wanted to, I just wanted to do it. I like me I tell, I don't like me I tell, I like me I tell, man. I have to talk the truth, man. Cause I tell you, there's some crazy people out in the world, you know. There's some crazy people out in the world, and that's the one thing I tell people all the time is that once you accept the fact that there are good and bad people in the world, it makes life so much easier. Because we always try to quantify or justify why people do what they do, right? And we always try to make excuses on exactly season. That's why I'm stay at my yard. You saw me there? I'm a yard. But that we always try to quantify why people do what they do. And like I said, if you accept the fact that there are good and bad people in the world, everything else kind of sort itself out. You know what I say? Because good people do good things, bad people do bad things. Sometimes good people do bad things, but good people don't only do bad things in certain situations, right? Survival, certain things. Exactly. You can't hide from God, right? you know? So, but bad people just do bad things. That's it. And there's a lot of people that try to change people, right? And you can't change people from what their natural instinct is. If their natural instinct is to do bad, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna do bad. Yeah, I have a lot of things I would love to share. I can't because of my job, right? But I mean, I have been in situations where I've seen people do bad things, and I talked to them. Like I had the opportunity to talk to them, and I was like, "Why did you do that?" And the person told me, he said, "Well, that's the only thing I know." You know what I'm saying? So that lets me know that that person accepted the fact that they're a bad person and they're only going to do bad things regardless of the consequences. There are some people that accept that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you know that and you know that there are bad people out there that's going to do bad things, then it makes it easier to make an informed decision. Like you said, like what Season says. Season says, "Me stay on me yard." What me do? Me stay on me yard. So me not have to interact with bad people because me know say the people them will come on my yard come visit me are good people. You know what I say? So me have at least some control over who is coming to my yard. Now when me out in the general public, me not have no control over who's out in the general public. You know what I say? Me just have to deal with the consequences of being out in the general public. That being said, that don't mean I don't interact with people. As what me tell, I think we had a discussion before on one of the chats that me love people, but me not love crowd. You know what I say? And people say, "Oh, if you love people and I love crowd," because I like to be around people. I love to meet new people. I love to interact with people. Know their nuances and all these things and cultures and all that. I love that. But when it comes to big crowds, I can't. Like I don't. That's kind of a little bit out of my control. Because I don't know who's within this crowd. Again, it doesn't stop me from interacting with people. Yeah, I can go out there and me like food, so I will go to a restaurant, I will go to a cookout or something like that. But like concerts, stuff like that. And again, I'm not saying this for everybody. Some people enjoy yourself, go out and have a good time and so forth. For me personally, knowing what I know about people, we just feel more comfortable in my own space, my own element, being around the people who me trust and understand and know. You know what I say? And that takes time as well. That takes time over years of just dealing with people. I mean, know everybody have them, them circle of people that they hang around and invite to their house and stuff. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna invite nobody to your house where you really don't trust, right? I mean, to me, it's like if when I have a cookout or something like that, and people come to my house, if somebody, if we're there, everybody outside and we hang out or whatever, and I have fun and enjoy ourselves, me not have to worry about if somebody decides to them I'll come to the house and use the bathroom. Me not have to follow them come to the bathroom and feel like to them I'll go upstairs, go search my bedroom. Or, you understand what I say? And that takes trust. That takes trust over time. So there's nobody that's come to my house when me not trust to be in my house. And you have to understand, so when you let people into your house, that is a high level of trust. That's it. Oh no, Margaret, I am a Capricorn. Yeah man, I am a Capricorn. Yeah man, yeah man. The Ram with the big on them. Yeah man, we not play. I I am a oh yeah, trust me, trust me, season. I got a bathroom in the basement. But again, like I said, I don't invite people to my house that I don't trust. You know, and neither should you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm a Capricorn. I'm January. I'm a January baby. So Martin Luther King was a January baby. Walipa people, Walipa famous people was January baby. But at the end of the day, man, as what I say, it's just you know the only reason I'm even do that live was because me I said a lot of conversations I have been having with a lot of different people, and I just see our vibes what are going on in Jamaica right now with this YouTube thing, and people are try it's almost like everybody I try outdo them one another with providing content on what is going on in Jamaica right now. So it's so saturated. And again, it's not like we here that are not there want to see what is going on. We want to, because it's the only connection we have to, especially with the communications being done and stuff like that. And as I say, the government media. Okay, Margaret. Okay, the government media is too controlled, so you're not gonna get the raw story or really are going right. But at the same time, as women say, as a content creator, be cognizant of what you're putting out there, because not only are you putting out there that people are in need, but you're putting your own Jamaicans either in a good light or a bad light. Man, I say you're feeding to some of the stereotypes and so forth. Rodney, oh go on. Blessings, bro. Welcome, welcome. You know. So as I said, be careful some of the be because you are responsible as a content creator to even though you might not feel like you are, but you are responsible for the content that you put out, whether good, bad, or indifferent, right? And me now go respect my brother, respect. I'm not gonna me personally, I'm not gonna do anything that undermines my culture or my Jamaican, my Jamaican people them, you know. And like I said, I get it. I mean, content is for some people is content, and they try. To me, honestly, it would have been better for a lot of these content creators to get together. It probably would have even be safer if a bunch of them get together and do, you know, one big thing and help out a lot of people, you know. But to me, it's like everybody is like almost doing their own thing, and I get it. People that on different sides of the island, different communities them affected and so forth, you know. But do it, do it, and do it safely, right? Do it at the safety of yourself. If you have a team, do it at the safety of your team. And then do it at the safety of the people that you are trying to help. Because if you're not safe, you can't help nobody. If you get in a situation where people get hurt, guess what? It not gonna help you, because we know Jamaica stay already, and we know say if you cause harm to somebody inadvertently, them not care at the time, and that might cost you your life. You know what I say? And the Jamaican people them know that. And it's not just Jamaica, but in general, as I say, when people in a survival mode, people do things that they wouldn't normally do. You know what I say? When people not when it's a life or death situation and you need food, and the only way you can get is you need to do what you have to do, people will do things that they don't normally do. You know, it might not it's nothing personal against you, but at the same time, don't put them in that situation, and don't put yourself in that situation. You know what I say? Because to me, that's a lose lose kind of situation where, as I say, one, you don't get to accomplish what you originally went out to do, was to help them, right? And it doesn't help you if it costs you your life, and no, you don't have the opportunity to help more people. You know, but as what I said before, don't stop going out there putting out the information, because there's still a lot of people out there that are affected, that haven't even been highlighted yet or even touched yet. So excuse me. So you think about it, there's a lot of people that haven't even gotten anything yet since the storm happened, because there's no access to them. You know what I say? So that means to them not have no they probably not have no YouTubers in them location. Them not have no uh, infrastructure for electricity. Them not have no water. Them not have all these amenities. And I guarantee you, you will hear about a lot of this after the fact. 2 3 weeks from now, you're gonna hear about you're gonna hear about, I'm guarantee you'll hear about communities that were cut off completely and them survive, right? And then they within their community decided to help each other, and hopefully open up the road them and do what they need to do to survive. Because that's the thing about community. You see, when you're cut off and all you have is you'll be surprised how people come together. Yeah, man. You would be surprised how people come together. Because for me, like like I said, crazy enough, it's Veterans Day next week. So we'll be celebrating Veterans Day. But, you talk about survivability. And when your back is against the wall, you will do what you need to do to survive. You know, to say, to think about it. So, season, like you said, no water, right? You really and truly believe there is no water in Jamaica? There's water, but again, depends on where you are, right? We see it on content creation all the time. Spring water, all these different things, but we're so used to the amenities, right? Hi, John. Welcome in. Blessings. you know. So we're talking about survival mode, completely different from having amenities, right? We are so used to having the amenities of luxuries, right? Like when me I grew up in Jamaica, me never ever remember taking a shower, a hot shower. Me never take a hot shower till me move to the States. Me used to cold water when me I take shower. Now me no know if me could I take a cold shower. because me so used to having the option of the amenities. You know what I say? But it's crazy when you have to go back to living a natural life without the amenities, how quickly your body or you as a person revert back to, because you're in a survival mode. Exactly. Right. Because you can't miss when you're not having a, right? Yes, exactly. My family come from Mandeville, so I know exactly, and they got hit hard in that area as well. You know what I say? So at the end of the day, when you're in a survival mode, you'd be surprised how quickly you revert back to what is necessary and what is needed, and you learn to appreciate what you need versus what you don't need, what is convenient or an amenity versus what is meant to survive, to help you to survive. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are learn that now. A lot of people, sad to say, that's the way you had to learn it. But how many people, as soon as them internet now work, them can't survive. Them don't know what to do because them not have the phone in front of them face now. Them can't text message and them, like, think about it. If you put on your phone for 24, can most people can't put on them phone for 24 hours. You know what I mean? So because it's just the times that we live in now. Trini, what go on? Blessings, bro. You know, and so again, we get so when we are talking about survival, right? People are talking about power, electricity. They might talk about internet connection. Like when Gilbert did pass through, we never worry about that. The most we worry about electricity, you know. But we never really have internet like that. Back then, maybe if you have a satellite dish or something like that, if you have look of money and you have a satellite dish back then. But other than that, you survive. You take everything we have in the fridge until the power come back on. You can it, right? We talk about canning. We see it all the time. Every time somebody make a survival video on YouTube, then talk about you can, same way you do saltfish, you can can any kind of meat, right? Survival. So when it comes down to it, if you're really and truly have to survive, you will survive. You know what I say? And one of the things when we say Like it depends upon the mood where you're in right now. Dire situation, me guarantee you, so anybody so we live in a country there, I go go dig up some yam and banana. Me no, again, aki tree them probably do down. Whole heap of breadfruit probably up on the ground. All them things. Mango. Where you have it, whatever you need. When you're in a true survival mode, you will survive. And Jamaica is really and truly one of those places where you can survive. That's the one thing I tell people about Jamaica is that. Now, granted, that's what I say. You know, um, you know, unexpected situation. You know what I say? But when you're in a true survival mode, Reds, what go on, brother? Hey, this was just a pop up, man. I just I'm on vacation, so I said I would get on here, and I didn't get to do the tiki bar, but me officially they're on leave now, so me say all right, I gotta talk some things, I address some things, yeah, man. So blessings, my brother, welcome in. But yeah, when you're in a um when you're in a true survival mode, like people talk about survival mode, but very few people have ever been in true survival mode. You know what I say? And you will know when you're in true survival mode because you will do what it takes to survive. You know what I say? And that's what you say. People say it all the time. You walk a mile in my shoes. Well, everybody deal with stress in a different ways. Although we can go through a similar situation where handle stress in different ways. Right? You know. Um, I find that a lot of people say this to me all the time. Well, exactly. Where there's a will, there's a way. A lot of people say this to me, well, you were in the military and you were trained. No, that doesn't change my survival instincts. You know what I say? Yeah, I might have learned a little bit, some additional things, but I can tell you this, most of the things I learned in the military, I already learned when I was growing up in Jamaica, right? Because going to the country, me tell people all the while, when I was growing up in Jamaica, me a Kingstonian, and every holiday, my parents used to send me go a country in a St. Catherine, go stay with my grandparents. And me used to hate it. Honestly, I used to hate it because we never have no running water, we never have no electricity. We use kerosene lamp, you know. We are listen to the only thing we'd have was radio. So we listen to Duppy story on the radio. Marty Massimans, if anyone I don't know old enough to remember that. So they, yeah, not not only we don't have no power, but my grandparents are scared the hell out of me. I listen to Duppy story on radio because of that my grandfather used to listen to all the time. You know what I say? But and then anytime we go bathe, we go a river, go bathe in the Royal Kobe River, go bathe. You know, we shoot fish and all those things. Me never really appreciate until me actually live up here. So now that's why I say me love nature so much. That's why I love being outdoors so much. But me never really appreciate about them. Me just see it as something annoying because me not have electricity and me not have power. And all of my friends them they are Kingston, they are downtown. I walk up and down and have fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you go to the bathroom, outdoors that man. Bathroom. I mean we used to have pit toilet. Yeah, we have the pit toilet, but remember saying that me not going to them pit toilet there late at night time because then time them have the big old drummer roach them I crawl up on the seat. So yeah, if you never use pit toilet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The big drummer roach them are always you know? We used to live on the toilet. You know what I'm saying? All right, Diane, blessings. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate you. You know? Yeah, man, Oliver. Those was the good times, man. Me I tell you, but what me I try to show you say at those times, me never like it. I mean, I say every time my parents I say, yo, country for you in this summertime. I mean, I say, well, I mean, I want to go a country, And then now, would I love to go a country? Love to go a country. You know what I say? Yeah, man, bullfrog, rolling calf. Yo, I talk about rolling calf and all and sitting there. You know, have no street light. I remember when I grew up, there was no street lights. No street. There was probably one street light for every probably every mile. There was a street light. You know what I'm saying? And back then, we never really. I was there for what the whole summer, and but me appreciate that. That give me a different understanding of life. So now to see where people are affected and their concern is that they don't have electricity or what you call it, running water and stuff like that. Especially if you live in the country. Like again, to me, it's to what extent. And again, this is not me saying I don't care about people and what am I go through right now. I totally understand. What may I try to say is that you have life and you have hope. You know what I'm saying? That's what may I try to say is that the situation might look dire to you based on certain amenities that you used to having, but no say you can and you will survive. You know what I say? That's the resiliency what me I talk about is that you can and you will survive. Lean upon the community. If you live in a good community, know that your community is going to support you and you can support your community. You know what I say? That's the positive vibes. What may I try for bring across is that yeah, things might not be too good right now, and you're in a dire situation right now. But no say, I know you alone I go through it. Other people probably I go through worse than what you I go through. You know how it is. Every time we feel like we have it bad, somebody always have it worse than we. That's how me look upon things. You know what I say? So there's some people that have it worse than some. As I said, there's some people that cut off that probably months from now you probably won't even hear them story until, but them survive, right? Them come together as a community and them look out for them one another, them take care of them one another until, because we're so reliant on the government. It's almost like we expect the government to be our parents, right? Exactly, John. Like everybody's in panic mode, and again, like I said, I've gone through it, so me not talk what me don't know about. Me I talk what me know about. When me say me go through Gilbert and no electricity, no power for weeks, all these things, right? But we have to just understand, say, with life, there's hope and we can survive. And as a community, if we, me don't know, I think we are so far gone when it comes to our mentality, the community mentality. We are so far gone that everybody's out for themselves and nobody not really think about the next person until one day they need that person, or that person needs them. You know what I say? So community is a thing where people use the term very loosely. And again, a years now I not live in Jamaica. I mean I talk, I not speak for every part of Jamaica because there are certain communities that still have that bond. You know what I say? Yeah, John. Yeah, absolutely. The village is no more. You know, and it's as I say, it's almost like, yeah. See, Trini say he grew up in the country. Yeah, So it's just me. I try to bring back this. Hopefully, this concept of people to understand. Sorry, me dep on leave, so me have to break out the M16. Yeah. But me I hope say people can maybe even see this and understand that there is, with life there is hope. I know that nobody people we don't people haven't given up on you. It's just that you have we I always say I don't worry about situations that's beyond my control, right? And if it's within my control, then I really don't have to worry about it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So as much as I would love to load up a plane load of food and send it down, it at this time it's not feasible because one, there's so many things going on right now that's limiting a lot of us to do that. And then on the back end of it, is it going to get to the people that really need it, right? The people that you're actually sending it to. That's to me, that's the most important thing, you know. And it goes back to what I originally said. You answer the M16 Trini? It's actually it's a liquor bottle. So you know, I like my gadgets. I like my gadgets. I like to have fun. I got you, John. I got you. Yeah, man. So, so for my families and friends in Jamaica, the prayers them I go out and the love is still going out. And understand that we care about and we don't forget. You know. So that's what me say. Yeah, man, just go and hold the faith, and that's what me say we did. With the YouTubers them out there that's going out there to help. Much love and respect, man. And that's what me say. You know, just be careful, be safe. You know what I say? Because if you're not safe, because a lot of una go through it as well. He says, as season said, are people going to be safe if they go on the road? Some of us have to travel far to get to. Yeah, I mean, honestly, season, like I said, I'm not there. So only the people that's there can really answer that question. But at the same time, it depends on what area you're going to as well. And again, to me, it's, honestly, I wouldn't be traveling at night, you know, things like that. Because remember, regardless, the criminal elements, them still out there, You know what I say? And really and truly, I am pleasantly surprised that, um, yes, Margaret, I like that. Took a shot. I guess what, Margaret? You see the cover one like a bullet, I like that. That was funny. That was good. I see what's that. Season say if people get hungry, they get desperate. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's where people are right now. You know, but that's what man say. That's what man say is it's for the people that are going out there helping. Just make sure to not do it safely. Because like I said, I know everybody wants to help and everybody wants to get out there and get some content and put it out there, and that is great because, like I always said, I don't care why you do it, as long as somebody's getting help. That's the most important thing. So whether you're doing it genuinely or you're just doing it to get views or whatever, as long as somebody's getting help, that's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Um, but understand that when people are desperate, they're gonna go into survival mode. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go into survival mode, and it's not anything personal against you as the person that's helping. It's just that they're going to try to get what they need, the necessities that they need that they don't have right now. And sometimes here's the crazy part, and I'm sure you guys have seen the videos of different situations that have happened. And the problem is when it comes to mob, they call it mob mentality, but again, it's survival, right? Um, it's when they so say for example you have a case of water that you're gonna give out based on the amount of people. So everybody get a bottle of water. But when you show up with a case of water now, you get bum rush. So now you have people like taking 2, 3 boxes of water and not everybody that was there. So if it was 10 people there and 3 people decides to go bum rush and take with a case of water now, they get the, so 3 out of 10 people get a case of water, right? What that mean? That means that the other people that needed the water, probably some of them probably truly needed, didn't get it, you know? And that's what I'm talking about, the safety and security of the people that you're supporting, making sure that they're in a safe environment to get the needed service that they need, and you're in a safe environment to give them that service. You understand what I'm saying? So mode is a situation I'd like the population to not go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, simulation. Exactly. You know exactly what I'm saying. You understand, bro? You know? Because honestly, I don't think people are even there yet. Honestly. You know? Yeah, and that's true. That's exactly my point, Season. I totally agree. People would be in worse situations. But what the part of it that I'm talking about is being responsible enough to make sure that you're not creating a situation where these people are essentially, you've triggered their survival mode. You understand what I'm saying? You're triggering an emotion because they're they're desperate. They're in desperate need right now, right? So you can do it in a way where they don't have a choice but to they have the option to bum rush you and just take what they want, and it can cause a stressful situation to where you have stampedes. Like there's so much things that can happen, right? And you know who they're gonna blame at the end of the day? They're gonna blame you. That's who they're gonna blame, because they're gonna say you're the one that came here knowing that we are in this bad situation. You got all this good food and snacks and all this other stuff, and you know we were hungry. They're not gonna blame them. They're gonna blame you because you put them in a situation where they had, or they felt like they had no choice but to, you know, um, bum rush you to get what they wanted. Yeah, and that's true too. We don't see everything. We don't see every. You're absolutely right about that. You are 100% right about that. You know, but the optics is what people see, right? Like I'm the same way. I don't take a story for one side based on the footage that I saw. Exactly, you're correct. You're 100% correct with that, because there are 3 sides to every story: my side, your side, and the truth, right? And I'm glad you brought that point up, because what we see is what we see, right? The thing that I say about us as content creators is we have a responsibility to not use our platform for the shock effect, or to get, you know what I'm saying? So exactly what you said. You know what? If the situation was chaotic when it started, then show me afterwards what happened throughout all that chaos. You know what? When it started, it was chaotic. But guess what happened? We sorted it out. Everybody was good to go. They settled down and it was good to go. You know what I'm saying? That's what people want to see, that too. Because you've only left one thing in my thought process, is what the last thing I saw. And the last thing I saw was chaos. Right? So if it changed, the situation changed, by all means, let me know, let the people know that your support, that, because as a content creator, you edit your videos, right? We all edit our videos. I feel like a lot of us here are content creators, and we edit our videos. So we show what we want the public to generally want to see. So we're kind of steering their thought process based on what we show them, you know? So it is your responsibility to be ethical, to be like, hey, here's what happened. Here's what could have happened, or here's what really happened. So we're giving people different sides of the story, not just the shock effect because we're looking for the views. You understand what I'm saying? Let me see. I saw something like that the other night when a YouTuber was handing out water, people jumping. Okay, so water. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, it forces us to do what we do best, and that is not supposed to be against our own citizens in preparing for the worst, but really hoping. Yeah, and that's. I mean, you can again, you can only do what you again, you can only do what you have control over. You know what I'm saying? Um, see, people are desperate. Jamaica is hot and they don't have water. Yeah, no, I get it. Trust me, season, I get it. I get it. But like I said, at the same time, Jamaica's always been hot, right? It's not every look, and this is not me being insensitive, but at the end of the day, survivability is about community taking care of each other because this is actually a great opportunity for people to. It shows how much you care about each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly, exactly. At the end of the day, people are people. People are people, and you get to see people's true side when they're in a dire situation, right? That's it's just the way it is. I mean, you can't change people's thought process in one day just because of a situation. Their true intentions are going to come out when their backs against the wall. Let's see. Everyone who's affected directly or indirectly are in survival mode at this time. Watch the face. You have to be in. You need to understand. Standing on the sidelines won't help. Well, that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, you can't. You know, we're all on the sidelines right now, right? Those of us that are still have electricity and all this other stuff doesn't mean we don't want to help. Doesn't mean we don't care. I've been in survival mode. You know, I've been in the. Again, it's a little bit different. Combat situations a little bit different, but it's survival mode because you learn to trust the person to your left and your right because that's all you have. And that's what I'm talking about, true survival mode, right? Because there's the amenities that I used to have that I don't have anymore, and there's the I'm so thirsty, I'm about to drink my own pee. That's a different kind of survival mode. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, like I said, don't get me wrong. I have the most empathy for anyone out there. My whole concept is, as someone that's trying to help, don't make the situation worse by triggering people's true survival mode. Take the opportunity to do some good coordination. Talk to your local law enforcement. Get them out there. I mean, there's already places set up where they have, like, there's places set up already where they have police already out there. So why wouldn't I, if I'm going to go out there and help the community, why wouldn't I just go out there, do a reconnaissance in advance of me going out to distribute food and say, hey, officer, you know what? You guys here every day? Yes. All right. May I have some things for give. Can I come up here, bring my vehicle, you know, have the bag them? That's another thing. Make sure, see, if you're going to do it, pre-pack the bags, So put, you can make multiple bags. So that way everybody's getting literally the same thing, right? So you don't have to really worry about people grabbing a case of water and not everybody getting water. You know what I mean? I say? So plan the thing out. Don't just throw everything in our one vehicle and drive out there and expect say people are gonna form a line, and because they're in survival mode. You know? Yeah, for sure, season. For sure. Let me see. So I've been wondering if distribution should have included a few good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's exactly what I was saying, Margaret. That if it's more about the coordination more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's like because everybody wants to go in and help, and which is not a bad thing. This is what I keep saying. It's not a bad thing that everybody wants to go in to help, but it doesn't help if you're if one you're putting yourself at risk, and you're also putting the community at risk by their reaction to you being there with goods and services. That's going to help them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. This is the difference between. Yeah, for sure. Some will, some not, but that's just life. Yeah. When and try to I've been playing, but yeah, blessings red. I know you're always up early in the morning. I don't know why, but but yeah, man, it's just I am hoping for the best. That's literally, like I said, it's gonna take a couple of it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while, and there's gonna be a lot of scars um, from people going through this. Um, People that have gone through this before. All right, Joan. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate you. Good night. Um, it's gonna leave scars to a lot of people for a very long time. You know. Yeah. See. Exactly right. You know. Let me see. After the first experience, and you see where the crowd is like, you made adjustments because if you're, yeah, and like I said, for me, it's a little bit different because I work in security. Like that is my job, right? I'm a security minded person. I'm always thinking that way, you know. So again, but I'm also a person that wants to help. That if you guys know me, I know I will help anyone in need. But I'm not gonna say for example, if I reached out to Oliver and said, Oliver, I'm gonna send you a barrel and I need you to distribute this food to these people in this location where they that need support. I'm not gonna I'm gonna tell Oliver, make sure say when you go out there, make sure say you pack the barrel, make sure you see a break on the barrel in a individual things. This is what I'm gonna send. Break it down into individual bags and make sure say you're at a location where you have control of the crowd, if just in case there's a big crowd and so forth, right? So that way you're protected and the people that are there are protected. That's the thing I'm talking about. The most part about this conversation is about protecting yourself so you can provide the support that people need, and then making sure that the people that are getting support are getting it as safely as possible. You know what I mean? So, but you can't control mob mentality. That's You can't control it, but you can mitigate. You know what I'm saying? You can take the best route rather than just jumping head first, right? That is my whole point. It's like you can't you want to help, but you can't just be like, oh, all right, yeah, boom, I got jump in. You see how the military operates, right? They don't just go into a location that they want to help and just say, all right, we're gonna just drop food and left it, you know, because what's gonna happen, right? If you and I've seen this simulation probably knows this. You go when you go into a location where people are in dire need and you bring much needed supplies and you just drop it. What happens? The people them in charge are gonna take it. The bad man them, the area done them, the tribal leaders. That's the survival of the fittest, right? So who have the machine them for and the control is gonna get all of it. You know what I'm saying? So just like what Season say, how do you know they didn't share the water? Well, how you know say when somebody take a case of water, the bad man down the road say, yo, give me that. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't completely mitigate that. You cannot, you know, because that's just what it is. You know what I say? But I feel like the bad man them would rather target a bulk thing rather than just target an individual person. You know what I say? You can't really control, you can't mitigate every situation, but you can make it a little bit harder for the bad man them take over things. That's what I say. I am actually surprised that it hasn't been a lot. Again, we only see what we hear. You know what I say? Yeah, man. Yes, I see. As what Sir Oliver says, security and protecting yourself is the main factor to prevent chaos. Yes, and you have to make sure say you now put people in a situation where you cause chaos, right? Because remember, before you show up with all these goods and services, people just have deal with them have to deal with You know what I say? And then here you come with the honey pot, right? Everybody see the honey and them and say, I want some sweets, and then just them instinct kick in because the goods and services is right in front of them right now. You know what I say? Versus when it never did it, they never really care about it till them see it. I know survival mode kick in and them say, all right, more on this by any means necessary, you know. But if you have it more in a controlled environment, you stand a better chance of getting the services to the people them who need it. You know what I say? That's all me I say. So me love the facts that people out there help. Me just want to say to people say, especially my YouTube community, just be careful out there. You know, love one not do, not do the right thing, and you know, don't 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 create a situation that is not necessary to cause chaos. You know what I say? Be 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 stringent in how you approach it. Plan accordingly, and at the same time, have an exit plan as well. You know what I say? You need to have an exit plan as well if things go south. You know, you always have a contingency plan you always have a backup plan to the backup plan. You know what I say? You always have a backup plan to the backup plan. So being able to get out of there just in case things go south. You say when children are crying because of hunger is frontline. Of course, nobody wants to see children hungry. You know, and at the end of the day, especially if you have children, that's they're the most important thing. Before you even eat, you're more worried about um your children. I do everything for my kids. My kids are adults now, but I still do everything for my children. So yeah, I totally understand that. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's my consensus season. Does it help me to go out there and get killed trying to get food for my children? How does that help them if I'm not there to provide for them? If I put myself in a situation where I'm I'm not there to provide for them, you know. Survival mode is survival mode, but survival mode is also thinking clear, thinking of surviving, right? So you have to think about, and that should be your reason to survive is I'm here to take care of my children, my kids, right? So when I'm in true survival mode, I'm not going out there to do something that's going to cause me not to be able to come back and provide for my children. You understand what I'm saying? They will not make it if you don't go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have to go, but you have to be smart. You have to be smart. At the end of the day, it's about being smart, and that's my whole point. Is about being smart, being able to get what you need without compromising your safety and security. That's literally what this whole conversation is being about. So is it worth it for you to go into a situation where you might not make it out just because you're so desperate for food? Is it easier to sit back and see see the situation for what it is and say, you know what, maybe it's not worth it for me to go over here and get myself hurt so I can't even take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nobody should. I don't think anybody's gonna sit down and wait. I don't know of anybody that would do that. You know, that's I mean that's the reason why people are out there in the streets right now trying to figure out what's going on, what's available, what they can get. You know, so I don't expect that people are going to not go out there and try to find food and try to figure out how they're going to get that next meal. You know, but my whole point of this is just be safe doing it because you're not you're not helping yourself or your family if you put yourself in harm's way. That is my point of this whole conversation is survival mode, but you have to be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? Well, by the time you get up here so we can be harvested. Well, again, everybody's in a different situation, you know. You have to do what you have to do based on your situation, you know. So again, I'm not telling people not to go out there and do what they need to do to survive. What I'm saying is be smart about what you're doing to survive because it doesn't help you or your family if you're not there to support them. You know what I'm saying? And it should be the same. You should be telling them the same thing too. Hey, you know what? We need this, but guess what? We got to be smart about it. You know. So, no, I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. I totally agree. Desperation. Sometimes they say desperate uh, times require desperate measures. You know. But again, the whole point of this conversation is to say that help people as best you can, but don't put yourself in a situation where it's detrimental to you, and don't put them in a situation that's detrimental to them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my people, that's really and truly it. That's why I just wanted to touch bases with everybody and just kind of see how everybody was doing, making sure that everybody's being safe. Like I said, you know, the help is slowly getting there. It's going to get better. There's going to be even more help coming. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that people are trying to do that a lot of people haven't heard about. Just because you don't see it advertised on YouTube doesn't mean people are not out there putting in the effort to try to help. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is going to advertise what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us that don't really, we just, the only thing we care about is that people are getting the help they need. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to continue to do what we do. We're going to continue to help people the best way we can, the smartest way we can, the safest way we can. All right. So thank you all for checking in, joining in, commenting. I appreciate you all as always because you guys are always very engaging. It was just, it was just something that I had to get off my chest because I had seen so many crazy videos of things happening, and I just wanted to make sure. Like I said, I'm going to continue to push out information as best I can when it comes to any scams, any updated scammer websites or links that come up. I will push out that information as best I can. And like I said, make sure you guys are sharing this information to other people as well, as far as the the donation websites that are not legitimate. So again, you guys can go back to my community posts before. I've posted a lot of websites that are scam websites. So if you can share that out to your platforms as well. Um, Thank you, Season. Thanks for the conversation. Always our blessings. Rodney, blessings. Trini, everybody that was in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys for sticking and staying with me. I've been here, what, 2.5 hours, and I didn't think the live was going to be this long. But definitely, it's good information. And same thing, if you guys have, like, for the people that's on the ground there in Jamaica, if you have information that you can share out to us that we don't know what's, because you guys are on the ground there. So definitely, if you have good pertinent information, I try to stay in touch with the news and stuff like that. But again, the news media is a controlled environment, and you guys, especially the content creators, have a inside look at things while go on. So definitely keep pushing that information out so we can pass it out. Sir Oliver, blessings, my brother. Yeah, man. Sir Manix. Um, yeah, man. Everybody that was in the live, Trini, Season, Reds, uh, Godfrey. Yeah, man. Big up to everybody that was here tonight. Joan Parker, part of the simulation, like Margaret Smith. Yeah, man. Blessings to each and every one that was here tonight. And we're gonna keep the conversation going. We're gonna keep the love going. Oh, Vibrant Style, JA was here. Yeah, man. Blessings to you as well. Great conversation. Um, so we're gonna keep the love going. We're gonna make sure so we're gonna provide as much support as we can to the people them and just go and spread the love. So yeah, man. I'm gonna finish. And put back up the M16, yeah. Trinity hours asked for the M16. Put back up the M16. But I appreciate you guys. I love you all. Like I said, this was just a pop-up live, and thanks for checking in. Um, yeah, man. Blessings to each and every one. And I will see you guys soon. I'm on vacation, so this was a great time. All right. So I will see you guys on the next one. All right. Blessings and much love and respect, man. Love. Trinity, you see, it's too late for you to eat pork them time at Trinity. Boy, you know easy at time. One man love pork, so. Oliver, see, a man love pork bet more than you. Trinity. Sir Rodney, stay blessed, my brother. Seasons, blessings. Trinity, don't eat pork so late, man. You're gonna get nightmares, man. And that easy at time. Man love pork. So Oliver, you never know somebody that love pork more than you, but this time, man, yeah. 3:40 a.m. and you're gonna eat pork. Yeah, man. Y'all get nightmare, man. All right. Well, more like deer mere because I'm on in now. So yeah, easy at that. All right, my people. My guy, I go finish watching some football night. Yeah. All right. Enjoy my vacation. So we'll talk soon. All right. Blessed love. I'm out.